What the ICAA is essentially is a teaching organization. We're trying to share these traditional building methods, traditional architecture with students, practitioners, everybody. A very successful thing we've done is bring it to colleges and universities as a 2-day workshop where they learn about these methods. They draw up some of the moldings and the details. They start to gain some of the ideas of the proportion and scale. It starts with bringing in actual practitioners, people who are working in the field, practicing traditional design and architecture. They present and just show the breadth of projects that they do: commercial, residential, high-end, restaurants, just all kinds of different things. That is the idea, is to give the students an idea of, oh, this is how it translates into the real world.
One of the challenges of education, one of our roles is to help the students, as they have these experiences, understand how they can apply it to a greater context. So you can't react, you can't rebel, you can't engage with an existing classical structure without understanding the foundations of it first.
Part 2 of the program introduces the nuts and bolts of the classical language, and we do this through a systematic drawing of a classical border using a technique modeled on that of the 16th century architect Vignola. Each one of the drawings introduces topics and concepts fundamental to architectural composition, such as the concept of scale, proportionality, the use of materials, geometry, architectural type, architectural character.
You get lost in AutoCAD because its algorithms predetermine a lot of what the orders do. And when you're drawing it by hand, you actually understand why that circle is that big or how the circle actually works. You kind of get down to almost mathematics and geometry again. And it's not just, okay, AutoCAD, draw this and draw that. So they're thinking more with their hand and less with the calculator and computer.
I think what's most amazing about this short span of time is seeing these different sort of striated levels of student. We have professionals, we have college students, and we even have, excitingly, high school students and middle school students who came. People who had no idea how to use a pencil, a little technique of curving a line, how a scale works, and you just see that their eyes gleam with excitement, and they think that I can do this someday.
The program concludes with a look at the malleability of the language and the use of the technique of measured and analytical drawing as the principal means to study applications of the language in the field, which lays the groundwork for doing a measure drawing out in the field, on campus, or a nearby historic building to look at the adaptation of the language in an actual building composition.
It is really special to see something in theory, to learn and understand the fundamentals on paper, try it out with a pencil, go around and then test your theory with the built environment, to go and see it in real life. Maybe do a measured drawing where you take a tape measure and figure out for yourself, how does that curve work? How tall is this column?
The students exit the program with a set of tools that they can use anywhere, regardless of where they are in the country, on campus, in their hometown. There is always a good example of a building, an interior, or a place or a space that's worth studying, to learn from, to inspire new work today.
Over the last 70, 80 years, classical design and architecture has kind of been pushed out of the schools. A lot of these things just aren't taught anymore and aren't trained. We are relearning, right, how to build. The idea of these traditional methods is to retrain us how to build things that will last a long time. It's a wonderful tradition, right, that should be taught, that should be trained, and we're trying to bring it back.